I still had glass in my hair from sleeping under the overpass when I walked into Giovanni's Italian restaurant. Maybe that's why they threw me out. Or maybe it was the smell of motor oil on my clothes from fixing cars for food money. "You're scaring our real customers," the owner shouted. 20 hours later, I was pulling his unconscious daughter from a car wreck while those real customers stood around filming. Some people save lives. Others just watch. My name is Master Sergeant Roy Coleman, and I've been living rough for 3 years. Not on the streets exactly. I've got a camp under the Highway 64 overpass where the cops don't bother veterans. After 40 years in the Army, including 2 tours in Vietnam and Desert Storm, my pension should have been enough. But the VA lost my paperwork. My benefits got tangled in red tape, and my savings went to my wife's cancer treatment before she passed. I'm not looking for pity. I get by. Fix cars at Miguel's garage for cash, help contractors with demolition work, collect cans when times are really tight. My clothes might be dirty, but I've got dignity, or I thought I did until Antonio Giovanni decided I wasn't human enough for his restaurant. June 15th was a bad day before it got worse. Rain had flooded my camp the night before, soaking everything I owned. The construction job I'd lined up fell through. My back was screaming from sleeping on wet concrete, but I'd saved $20 over 2 weeks, and I wanted one hot meal that didn't come from a gas station microwave. Giovanni's wasn't fancy, just a family Italian place on Maple Street. I'd eaten there years ago when Mary was alive. Good lasagna, fair prices, the smell of home. I checked my reflection in the window. Yeah, I looked rough. Oil-stained army jacket, jeans with honest dirt, boots held together with duct tape. But my money was green as anyone's. The hostess, a young girl with pink hair, took one look and backed away. I need to get my manager." I stood there, dripping slightly from the rain while other customers stared. A mother pulled her children closer. A businessman moved his briefcase to the far side of his table. "You think I was carrying a weapon instead of just wearing poverty?" Antonio Giovanni came out like he was confronting a robber. Mid-50s, expensive suit, cologne strong enough to mask any honest smell. He looked me up and down with the kind of disgust usually reserved for roadkill. "No," he said before I could speak. "Whatever you want, no, this is a respectable establishment." "I've got money," I said, pulling out my 20. "Just want some lunch. Your money's no good here." He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You're disturbing my customers. Look at yourself. When's the last time you bathed?" "This morning," I lied. "In the rain." His daughter appeared then, Sarah Giovanni, maybe 25, dressed like she'd stepped out of a magazine. She had her phone out, recording. "Oh my God, Dad, is this a homeless guy in our restaurant?" "I'm a veteran," I said quietly. "Not homeless, just between addresses." "Same thing," Antonio sneered. "Sarah, call security." "Wait, this is perfect for my TikTok." She laughed. Phone steady on my face. "Homeless guy tries to eat at nice restaurant. This'll go viral." The security guard was young, nervous, probably making 15 an hour to deal with actual problems, not hungry veterans. "Sir, I'm going to need you to leave." "I haven't done anything wrong," I protested. "I've got money. I just want some food." "You're scaring our real customers," Antonio repeated, louder this time. Several diners were now recording. "Your appearance, your smell, it's disturbing. This isn't a soup kitchen." "Dad, make him leave," Sarah whined. "He's literally ruining the vibe." The security guard touched my elbow. Training kicked in and I almost responded with violence, muscle memory from decades of combat. But I was tired, hungry, and outnumbered by phones and prejudice. I let him guide me toward the door. "And don't come back," Antonio called out. "Next time I'll have you arrested for trespassing." The dining room actually applauded as I was escorted out. Applauded? Like removing a human being was dinner theater. Sarah's camera followed me to the door, her commentary a stream of mockery. "And there he goes, folks. Remember to like and subscribe." Outside, the security guard looked ashamed. "Sorry, man. I know you weren't causing trouble. Just doing your job, I said. We all got bills. I walked back to the overpass, rain starting again. $20 still in my pocket, but nowhere that wanted it. Miguel was closed. The food truck was sold out. I ended up at 7-Eleven, buying what I could stretch for days. Peanut butter, bread, instant coffee. Happy birthday to me. That night, Sarah's video hit social media. Homeless man kicked out of restaurant. Crazy reaction. Crazy reaction. 3 million views by morning. The comments were what you'd expect. Some calling me a worthless bum. Others defending veterans. Most just laughing at the spectacle of an old man being humiliated for entertainment. I didn't sleep well. Not from shame. I'd been through worse, but from the sound of glass breaking in my dreams. Car accidents. IEDs. The windshield of a Humvee in Baghdad. Sometimes the brain doesn't sort memories properly. Just throws them all in a blender and hits puree. The next morning, June 16th, started like any other. Coffee heated over a camp stove. Wash in the gas station bathroom. Check with Miguel about work. He had a transmission job that would pay $60. Good money. Enough for a real meal somewhere that didn't know my face. I was under a Honda Civic, hands deep in machinery, when I heard the crash. Highway 64 runs parallel to Miguel's garage, separated by a chain-link fence and about 30 yards of scrub brush. The sound was unmistakable. That horrible symphony of metal meeting metal at speed. Glass exploding, tires screaming. I'd heard it in combat zones on civilian streets, in nightmares. This was bad. I rolled out from under the car and ran, through the fence, tearing my jacket, through the brush, ignoring the thorns. Other people were already stopping, pulling out phones. Because that's what people do now. They document instead of help. The silver BMW was upside down, front end crumpled against the concrete barrier. Smoke poured from the engine compartment. The smell of gasoline was overwhelming. And trapped inside, screaming, was a young woman in a designer dress. Sarah Giovanni. The universe has a sick sense of humor sometimes. Someone call 911, a bystander shouted. Phone already recording. The fire department will handle it, another said. Don't get involved, it's gonna blow. Someone else warned, backing away. They were right about one thing. It was going to blow. I could see flames licking at the undercarriage, fuel dripping onto hot metal. In Afghanistan, we called this a cooking vehicle. You had maybe 2 minutes before it became a crematorium. I didn't think. 40 years of training doesn't allow for thinking in moments like this. I ran toward the BMW while everyone else ran away. Get back. Someone screamed. You'll get yourself killed. Maybe. But I'd rather die trying than live watching. The driver's door was crushed, welded shut by impact. Sarah was hanging upside down, seatbelt holding her in place, blood running from a gash on her forehead. She was conscious but panicked, hands beating uselessly at the belt release. Please, she screamed. Someone help me. I can't get out. I dropped to my knees beside the shattered window. Sarah looked at me. Her eyes went wide with recognition, even upside down, covered in blood. She knew the face she'd mocked for 3 million viewers. You, she gasped. Yeah, me. The homeless guy. Now shut up and listen. I reached through the window, ignoring the glass cutting my arms. Stop moving. Ignoring the glass cutting my arms. You're making it worse. I'm sorry, she sobbed. About yesterday, I'm so sorry. Apologize later. Right now, breathe. The flames were spreading, heat building. I'm going to cut your belt. When I do, you'll drop. I'll catch you. Trust me. The fire. I know. That's why we're doing this fast. I pulled out my knife. Old car bar I'd carried through 3 wars. The same knife Antonio would have probably called a weapon if he'd seen it yesterday. The blade went through the seatbelt like butter. Sarah dropped hard, but I caught her shoulders, protecting her head. She screamed as I pulled her through the window, glass tearing at both of us. The heat was unbearable now, paint bubbling on the BMW's body. Can you run? I asked. My ankle. No time? I threw her over my shoulder in a fireman's carry, the same way I'd carried wounded soldiers out of kill zones. She weighed nothing compared to a fully loaded Marine. I ran, ignoring my screaming back, ignoring the crowd filming our escape, ignoring everything but the need to get distance. The BMW exploded when we were 20 yards away. The shockwave knocked us down, heat washing over us like dragon's breath. I covered Sarah with my body, feeling debris rain down. Until the worst passed. "You're okay," I said, rolling off her. "You're safe." She was crying, clutching at me like I might disappear. "You saved me. After what we did, you saved me." "That's what soldiers do," I said. "We save people, even the ones who don't deserve it." Paramedics arrived, followed by police, fire trucks, news vans. The same people who'd filmed my humiliation were now filming my heroism. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Giovanni arrived as they were loading Sarah into the ambulance. He looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. When he saw me, bloody burned, clothes more ruined than ever, he actually fell to his knees. "You," he said. "You," he said. "You saved her. The dirty homeless vet you threw out saved your daughter. Life's funny that way." "I'm sorry," he sobbed. "God, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. You said plenty yesterday." I was tired, hurt, and out of patience for rich men's tears. "Your daughter's alive. That's all that matters. Please." He grabbed my hand. "Anything. I'll give you anything. The money, a job, a house." I wanted lasagna, $20 worth of human dignity. That's all. Sarah was calling for me from the ambulance. Against my better judgment, I walked over. She looked small on the gurney, designer dress replaced by a hospital gown, fake eyelashes running with tears. "I deleted the video," she said. "I deleted the video," she said. "I'm so ashamed. You're a hero and I treated you like I was less than human," I finished. "Yeah, you did. How can I make it right?" I thought about it. "You can't, but you can do better. Next time you see someone who looks like me, maybe remember they're someone's father, someone's veteran, someone's hero on the worst day of their life. Maybe put down the phone and see the person." She nodded, crying harder. "I will, I promise." The media explosion was immediate. Homeless vet saves woman who mocked him. From viral shame to viral hero. The soldier who chose compassion over revenge. My face was everywhere, usually with a split screen. Yesterday's humiliation next to today's heroism. Antonio tried everything. He publicly apologized. He offered me free meals for life. He donated $100,000 to veteran charities in my name. He put up a sign, "All veterans eat free," but he couldn't undo what was done. Respect given from guilt isn't respect at all. The VA find my paperwork. Funny how media attention makes bureaucracy move faster. Turns out they owed me 3 years of back benefits. Enough to get off the streets, get an apartment, get my life together. I should have been happy. But I kept thinking about all the other Roy Colemans out there. The ones who'll never get their viral moment of vindication. Who'll just be dirty, smelly, unwanted veterans dying under overpasses while people film their degradation for likes. I used part of my back pay to open a small auto shop. Nothing fancy, just a garage where veterans can work, earn honest money, and shower in the back. No judgments, no phones, no viral moments. Just dignity and second chances. Sarah comes by sometimes. She volunteers at the VA now, helps veterans navigate benefits. She's dating a Marine who lost his leg in Afghanistan. He says she's different from most rich girls. She sees people now, not content. Antonio's restaurant is thriving. The Veterans Eat Free sign brought in more business than he ever imagined. He hired 2 homeless vets as cooks, set up a fund for struggling service members, became the philanthropist guilt made him. But I still won't eat there. Not from spite, I just prefer my own cooking now. In my small apartment with my rescue dog, watching the news show another veteran being mistreated somewhere, another viral video of shame, another opportunity for people to film instead of help. That crash on Highway 64 changed lives. Sarah learned empathy. Antonio learned humility. The internet learned that the dirty veteran you mock today might be the hero you need tomorrow. And me? I learned that you can't wait for the world to respect you. You just keep being who you are. A soldier, a helper, a human being. Regardless of who's filming or laughing or throwing you out. Because when the metal meets the road and the flames start rising, it won't be the clean, respectable, viral-ready people running toward the fire. It'll be the dirty veterans, the homeless heroes, the ones who save lives while others just watch. Some people save lives. Others just watch. I know which one I'll always be, even when it's the last person who deserves saving. Especially then.